Check, check 1 2. Check, check 1 2. Check, check 1 2 3 4 5. Check, check 1 2 3 4 5. Check, check, check. Do we have it? Check.
About 20-second delay. Check 1 2 3 4 5. All right, so now you can share that.
Okay, now what did he say I needed? What was the?
Okay, see how they're lined up right here?
Yes.
All right. We'll wait till they line back up. Just zoom in on it.
Is it on yet?
Yes, it's on. We're not on the air yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Now what?
5 yards there. Just like that, okay? Did you see where the 30-yard line is?
Yes.
You see where they're lined up. You got both sides of the football. See that?
So he wants the numbers to show up?
No. Look. All right. See how the line is right there?
You need to start paying me a fee for this. You hear me?
I do.
The C-stacks would be nice.
Well, we're working on that. Okay, see how they're lined up?
Yes.
Now you got both those there, and you got our defense in, okay? They're going to run the ball, so you start following him. See that?
Well, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, but you're too far out. A little bit too far out. As soon as they have trouble seeing.
You can get your butt to the game, you don't got to
Well,
worry
he's
about it.
here, but if you go back and watch.
That's excessive. You're here, why you got to be watching?
Yeah, but you kind of have to turn to stuff.
You might miss a hole when he's running.
Like if you kind of have to go home and watch. Honey, I do that all the time, too.
Excessive. Enjoy the game.
I'm obsessive compulsive, too, so.
We need to turn down your bit rate.
Huh?
We need to turn down the bit rate. It's not going to stream smoothly until we get it turned down a little bit.
Okay. How do we do that?
I'm working on it.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully we don't have to reset the whole screen. Whole scene.
We'll go downstairs and see if I can find the radio for some stuff over here tonight set up.
Gary, you stay up here in case. Hurry up.
I will have to make sure they don't come.
Let them be, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm not a jerk.
You're not a jerk.
I want this to go well for you.
Yes.
Is there any way you can turn? Is he using his phone again?
No, because he said they have internet here or the. Yeah.
Hey, we do a quick test on the video.
Yeah.
How do I switch it over to the
Cut.
camera?
Cut.
Cut. Just hit
Just
cut.
hit cut. Just hit cut.
Sure. Yeah.
There you go. Give me a chance to.
It's about a 20-second delay.
hit October, and the temperature is letting us know that fall has arrived here in Central Kentucky. And tonight, it's high school football from Community Stadium in Versailles as the Yellow Jackets entertain the Madison Southern Eagles in a critical district showdown between these two ball clubs. Good evening and welcome to tonight's high school broadcast of Woodford County High School football on the UK Sports Medicine High School Game of the Week. Darren Douglas along with Andy Smith as we get ready to bring you a game that is pivotal for Woodford County after a convincing 77-35 victory over West Jessamine 1 week ago in their opener for the district play, with a tough one on the road next week in Shelbyville against Collins, and then they'll finish up the home portion of the schedule in 2 weeks against the Jaguars of East Jessamine. Jackets 6-0 on the season, as I mentioned, 1-0 in district play. Madison Southern 1-1 in district play, and 2-5 on the season. Now, we will say this about that schedule for Southern: they have had a very tough schedule as far as their early portion of their schedule. I know Southwestern was on there, and everybody knows what the Warriors are down there in Pulaski County, how good they are. And they've had some injuries. The biggest one was the running back Stephen Whitehead, who played about a game and a half. He's missed the last 5.5 games, and he will be back tonight in uniform against the Jackets. Don't know how much action you'll see running the football, but he is back in uniform, and that always helps a team when you've got the guy with the experience that Whitehead has. Also, this being said, the Eagles are under a new head football coach this season over there in Berea. Mike Payne is his name, and he has inherited a program that has been successful under former coach John Clark, who moved on at the end of last year. Of course, they are also breaking in a new quarterback. We're not sure who we'll see. We'll either see Ethan Woods, the junior, or we'll see Jackson Chambers, a senior. So we'll wait until they take their first offensive snap to find out who they are. So, Andy, a lot of unknowns for Woodford County's opponent tonight for Madison Southern. They have struggled at times to score. They have not moved the football like they have been accustomed to in the past, but they are still a formidable team. They lose a tough one a couple of weeks ago to Collins in Shelbyville.
Well, yeah, Darren, I think that, Madison Southern always comes in with a lot of speed. They're always a good football team. They're always sharp. And I don't think this year's going to be any different. You play a tough game like that, you come back and you're hungry for it. It's got to be hard, though, to come back after a tough loss like that and play another road game back-to-back. You and I both know that that's a tough call for any team, especially when you're coming up against an offense, as you pointed out over the last few days, that is clicking like Woodford County's offense seems to be.
Well, they were victorious last week. That game against Collins was 2 weeks ago. I actually caught that on video through the Collins video stream. Fortunate enough, Woodford County was off that week, so I caught a little bit of that. Madison Southern led at halftime, led till about late, just a couple of minutes past the midway point of the fourth quarter. Collins got a late touchdown to win that ball game, and it was a fairly low-scoring game between the two schools. So you have that, and then you have the fact that they have been beaten up pretty badly. But you get some guys back a little bit healthy and don't know what kind of condition they'll be in as far as football play is concerned, and we'll see how much Stephen Whitehead sees tonight. What's funny about about Whitehead being out, Andy, he is still, to tell you how much trouble this team has had running the football this year, the Eagles have, he is still the third leading rusher on the season and has only played 3 games.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah,
that's
only 144 yards, but that's how much trouble they've had moving the ball.
Yeah, that's big. And if you can't run the ball against this Woodford County defense, you're going to be in a lot of trouble very, very quickly.
Yeah, and there's a couple of guys that we know the names of. We've heard them over the last couple of years. Juan Rodriguez is one. He filled in at running back for Whitehead while Stephen was out healing up from an injury. And then Jayshon Etheridge, he is the guy. He is the speed burner. He's the guy that they will look to get the ball in space to and see what he can do. But he has not had great games against Woodford County historically. A couple of years ago, it was Will Clark.
Well, we talked about Jay Sean Etheridge last night.
Yeah.
His speed. And one of the things that Woodford County's been able to handle very, very well is that edge speed. They've been able to come upfield, stop the ball at the point of attack, and not let speed get around the edge on them. And I think that any small back like that does not like having people in their way. So that's something that Woodford County's done a good job of getting upfield. The concern is going to be how strong is Whitehead tonight, and can they run the ball between the tackles?
Well, before we get to more into this football contest tonight, we're about 13 minutes away from the opening kickoff here tonight at Community Stadium, late arriving crowd. But we expect a good crowd here tonight in Versailles. Congratulations go out to the Woodford County girls soccer team, 30th District Championship champions last night, a 2-1 victory over their arch rival across the river over there, the Bearcats of Anderson County.
Right.
However, the boys lose in the championship game to Collins by identical 2-1 score, and both those teams will move on to the 8th region tournament. I don't know where the site is right now. I think the first round games will be played at the district champion, so the girls will host here, and I believe that is on Tuesday night here at Community Stadium. I don't know if their opponent has been decided yet. The boys will find out where they have to travel and what day and who their opponent will be in the 8th region tournament. We also have 3 student athletes down in Bowling Green for the Kentucky High School Athletic Association State Golf Championships, and Bradley Lacefield is the gentleman that is representing the boys golf team in the state tournament. He is a freshman. Sophie Lester and Abby Kane are the 2 girls. Both those girls, I believe, are 8th graders.
Oh, wow.
So they are playing in the state tournament. Of course, Abby is the daughter of Bill Kane, the Woodford Sun sports editor. So we hope they are doing well. Bill is going to be tuning in tonight to listen and view the broadcast from down there in Bowling Green, and hopefully they had a great round today, the 3 of them. And Bill, if you're listening and watching, give us a text and let us know how things went today for those 3.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to miss his photographs tonight.
Yeah, we are. And also want to congratulate the Woodford County Middle School 7th grade team. They are Bluegrass Conference champions. They knocked off Georgetown Middle last night down in Frankfort by a final score of 34-14. However, the 8th grade not so fortunate. They spotted Campbell Middle School out of Winchester, a 12-0 lead, fought back, but fell 24-12. They are now 8-1. 7th grade is 9-1, and we'll have the head coach, Dave Thomas, up here at halftime to talk about the 7th grades and the 8th grades draws in the state playoffs, which begin next week. Actually, the 8th grade got a bye, so they don't play till the 22nd. And it'll be determined who they play and where. Somehow the 7th grade is undefeated and knocked off Georgetown Middle. Georgetown Middle is the number 1 seed in the region. Woodford's 3rd. Haven't figured that one out yet, but congratulations to both those teams on fine, outstanding seasons.
That was hard to do playoff math, isn't it?
It very much so, very much so. Beautiful night for football as you look across the skyline over past the visiting stands along the tree line back there. Just a beautiful sight. A lot of people out there taking advantage of the dog park that's back there along with the Frisbee golf. Probably some people doing some walking and hiking out that way. But the sunset just over the treetops, just an absolute beautiful sight. And we have the best view at probably in anywhere in the county park here.
I'd say that's probably right. It's one of my favorite views on a Friday night for sure. Honestly, though, anytime I'm sitting in a booth and it's 15 minutes before a football game and it's Friday night,
I'm ready.
Good.
Yeah, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast of the high school football between Madison Southern and Woodford County. We want to thank our fine sponsors along the network. Of course, UK Sports Medicine. If you want to be treated like a Wildcat, if you have an injury, a son or a daughter, then take them to UK Sports Medicine in the Turfland area of Lexington, just off Harrisburg Road. For those of you all that are old enough to remember, it's the old Turfland Mall location there, just off Harrisburg Road in Lexington. You can have your son or daughter treated. Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., just a free walk-in. You walk in and you can get your son or daughter examined and get them back nursed healthy there at UK Sports Medicine. Also, Citizens Commerce Bank, 2 locations in Versailles, the main branch on Marcel's Drive just off US 60 and downtown off South Main Street, as well as locations in Nicholasville, Lexington, and Frankfort, where local living and banking locally matters at Citizens Commerce. Also, I want to thank the fine folks at Jack Kane Ford. Bob Kane, just outstanding again. Needed some help with something, and he said, hey, I gave him a call, and he said, I can help you out. Just come out and pick it up and bring it back and let me know when you're back. And I really give him a lot of credit for that, and just a wonderful, wonderful group out there at Jack Kane Ford just off US 60. And one final one, Steve Carroll and Carroll Floor Covering. If you want your home, your office, your business, you need flooring, they can help you. No matter what kind of flooring you need, they can help you. Over 40 years in business in downtown Versailles and pretty much the same location all those years. Go see Steve Carroll and all the fine folks at Carroll Floor Covering. Well, Andy, it is going to be a cooler night than both teams have experienced here in the early part. I mean, we were just a week ago, we hit a couple of 90 degrees during the week. A very comfortable night last Friday night in Central Kentucky. Now tonight, the bottom is falling out. We were up here talking a while ago about a possible freeze tonight. Definitely a freeze tomorrow night because they're talking 32 for the low on Saturday night. So I think fall has arrived.
I think so. I think, we're talking about we said it last night, it's going to be a perfect night for football. We're in that edge space where the weather is still clean and dry, and we're not dealing with sleet and snow yet. And that part of the football season that is just about perfect. When you write the stories about football and high school football in the United States, it's nights like this you're writing about.
Well, and the neat thing about this is we have been blessed, knock on wood, I hope I don't jinx us, with dry weather throughout the year so far. But we know we are in Kentucky. If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. It'll change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we get fall scheduled for very early in the morning, and then right about midday, we get a nice crisp reminder that it might still be a little bit of autumny. By noon, it's summertime. Then once we roll into 1 o'clock, we start with autumn again. And then by about the time the sun goes down, we're back into the winter.
Well, and this is this is the neat thing about Kentucky weather, because you have, as a kid growing up, you had 4 distinct seasons. It is getting closer now to being back to that, where we've been out of whack with really goofy weather and during the summer and below average temperatures in the wintertime and unfortunately ice and whatever. Hopefully we'll have a more normal season of fall and winter when we get to that here in Central Kentucky. But right now it's high school football. Game number 7 for the Yellow Jackets, 6-0 on the season, 1-0 in district play. They'll take on the 2-5 Madison Southern Indians, and this will Indians. Sorry about that, folks. Madison Southern Eagles. They will be a formidable 2-5 team. They are not a typical 2-5 team, just based on who they have played in the season here so far this year. So, what do you now Woodford set a school record for points in a game last year about this time of the year against Collins here at Community Stadium with 64. Before that, in 1969, we're getting the national anthem, and we'll have the national anthem played by the Woodford County High School Band. Woodford County High School Marching Band with their version of the national anthem, the more traditional sounding national anthem.
That sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I've been at some schools where that sounds like a death march. They draw it out, and it's just like, I wish we would play it the way it's written, but that's a good job. And matter of fact, we'll say the grand champion marching band from Woodford County High School, the Derby City Classic a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they sounded great. They're
yeah.
getting it done, and I think today at halftime we're going to be able to see the entire competition piece. So that's exciting.
So you see Madison Southern off there coming out in their white road uniforms with the navy blue numbers, and the captain's coming towards midfield for Madison Southern. It's number 5, Jackson Chambers. Number 15 is Mitchell Mills. The big guy, number 76, and a lot of basketball fans will know who this is. That is Brett Ursuline. He's 6'5", 305, and I didn't see the fourth one. That is Caleb Johnson, number 70. For Woodford County, Sawyer Ford, Preston Stacy, Aiden Carroll, and Tristan Cook. The Jackets getting ready to be brought out by the middle school and youth football teams, as per what Dennis Johnson started as a tradition here. And you see the cheerleaders with the Tackle Cancer on Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in the month of October. And here come the Jackets dressed in all black, and it's pretty fitting. The school's all-time leading sack leader, Grant Garrison, leading them out. So the Jackets come out, and Andy, we jokingly last week, I in the midst of the ball game, said first 1 to 70 wins.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we may have a shootout to that point because the first half was that way, but guess what? I was halfway right. Woodford County got to 71st.
Yeah, well, they did get to 71st. They got to 77 when it was all said and done. The thing that we got to keep reminding ourselves about is the fact that was a touchdown-for-touchdown game until midway through the third quarter, and that West put 2 touchdowns on the board in the third quarter, which is pretty amazing considering the score at the end of the game and the fact that there was a running clock in the last 8 minutes.
Well, the neat thing about that was Woodford County, though, really took charge of that game with the opening drive of the second half. They went up 2 scores, and the Jackets were able to extend the lead from there. So it's Woodford County and Madison Southern. I did not see who won the toss. Did you? You did not?
No,
I didn't either.
We'll
find out. Hang on a minute. Well, we'll figure it out who gets the ball first. We don't know. Everybody up here was being distracted. I was in the process of trying to find a roster for Southern. I've got it. Madison Southern won the toss, and it looks like they will take the football, which is kind of interesting. I guess they want the football first to try to keep Woodford County's offense off the field, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? You talked about that before. You talked about it last night, the fact that that should be their overall goal, is to keep Woodford County's offense off the field.
Well, nobody's had success in doing that, although Franklin County tried.
Yeah.
They did win the possession time of possession battle, but Woodford County eventually won the football game 36-21 a couple of weeks ago. Back deep, it'll be Cade Sullivan for the
Well, and the thing is it hasn't worked out for anybody either. Even when it's been close, Woodford County's gotten the ball at the half. So
Ford drives this one over Sullivan's head, 3 yards deep in the end zone. Boy, Madison Southern was showing no respect on the leg for Sawyer Ford. I think they were expecting a squib kick or one of those pooch kicks, but when Sawyer's up there, they're going to let him rip it away because he's got more touchbacks than anybody that I can think of in the district.
I'll tell you what, Darren, when you have that kind of a kicker and then somebody who can – you've got his backup and he can both kick it short very well.
Looks like it's going to be Jackson Chambers, the 6'2" senior quarterback, wearing number 5. Juan Rodriguez, 47, back to his more normal number of 47, will be the fullback. Twin receivers to both sides. They're stacked. They give it off to Rodriguez. He gets a yard. They're going to give him actually a yard and a half, so I'm 0 for 1 on the spot for the officials here in game number 1. So give Rodriguez 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8 from their own 22-yard line. Just underway here in Versailles. Glad you're with us here tonight. Pistol formation. Rodriguez moves to the right of Chambers. They throw out here to Etheridge. Etheridge is going to be upended by Aiden Nelson.
Nelson did a good job working around his block on that and just going ahead and making that fantastic open field tackle.
It's another gain of, actually a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 6 for Southern. As they look over to the sideline to get the call. Twin receivers to either side, a more conventional look. And Rodriguez moves to the right of Chambers. Chambers back in, throws the corner route to Etheridge, who drops it. He was open.
Wow, he was wide open on that.
But he just dropped it. Let it get to his pads.
Well, that time he just dropped a wide open ball there.
Yeah,
there,
it hit his chest, his pads, and he couldn't get to it. So it's 4th down, 4th and 6 for Madison Southern, and back to punt. It looks like, I can't tell who that's Mitchell Mills, it looks like. Or man, that's Avery Davidson. Back deep, twin safeties. Aiden Nelson on the far side. Leland Taylor here on the near side. This one is a shank punt. It'll hit at the Woodford County 42 and drop dead at the Madison Southern 39-yard line. So that's where Woodford County will have it, 1st and 10 from the Woodford County 39. So we are having some video issues with the freezing up of it. We are working on that, but we do have the audio sound going through, so stick with us. It'll be the quarterback, Andrew Nason. He looks, throws out here in the flat, high, and it's brought down by Nelson, and he'll be immediately hit and dropped at the Southern 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4 for Woodford County from the Eagles. Actually give him 7 yards to the 33. That's just 8, 7, right? 33-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for Woodford County. Pistol formation with Stacy behind. He'll move to the wingback spot on the right. They bring Max Berry in motion, darts inside, cuts it back out, darts it back outside, 30. 1st down for Woodford County inside the Madison Southern 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Woodford County from the Eagles 25, give him the 24. So it'll be gain of 9, 1st and 10, Woodford County from the 25-yard or the 24-yard line of Southern. Now Woodford County last week really got a lot of mileage out of the short field created by their defense against West Jessamine and their punt or their return teams. They give it, nope, fake it, pitch it back on the option to Max Berry, gets hit right at the line of scrimmage and dropped. And Woodford County will be faced with a 2nd down and 10. They've not yet given the ball to Preston Stacy. So the Stacy behind Nason. He fakes, throws out here on the screen to Nelson, gets a block from Max Berry, and gets inside the 20 to the 19. So it'll be 3rd and about 4.5 for the Jackets from the Southern 19-yard line. They need to get inside the 15. So this is possibly 4-down territory for Woodford County with 8:44 and the clock moving here in Versailles. High snap. Nason pulls it down, looking. And that's a face mask, but no call. Are you serious? Wow. His head went straight down. And no face mask call and a sack there. I didn't see who the Eagle was that got there to make the play. But nobody saw it, and I don't know how, when he's out of the pocket, how you miss that. But the Jackets are now in 4th and about 15. Nason back to throw. Rolls right. Looking, still looking. Hold on to the football. Cuts it up. He's going to be dropped at the 26-yard line. And a nice stop by Madison Southern, but Woodford County gets the unfortunate break of no penalty on a face mask on a sack of Nason on 3rd down. So it's 1st and 10 Southern from their own 26-yard line. 1st and 10. And Woodford County turned aside on their initial drive of the first half. 7:49 to play, and the clock is arrested. They give it off to Sullivan, who's in there at running back now. He maybe have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. And he did get to the line of scrimmage. Christian Ponce, along with Andrew Sowards, on the bottom of that stack. Ponce with the initial contact. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Southern from their 26 on their second possession of the ball game. They give it off to Whitehead. He's running right. He has the first down out to about the 41-yard line. And I talked with with Andy Smith last night on the From the Sidelines coaches program from Versailles Brewing Company. The fact that's what he looks to do. He'll get it up in there, but look to either bounce it back or outside. And he cut outside. He got out to the 41-yard line to be 1st and 10 for Southern from their own 41. They fake it to Whitehead. Chambers runs the other direction. Smith after him. He drops him for a loss of 2 back to the 39-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 12 for Madison Southern from their own 39-yard line. Second possession for Southern tonight after a 3 and out on the initial drive of the ball game. Woodford County got a first down, or got 2 first downs, and unable to do anything after that. They give it off to Whitehead. He'll cut it back into the middle, and he's dropped right at the original line of scrimmage. On the tackle, Jackson Bugg. And it's 3rd and 10 for Southern from their own 41-yard line. He just got past the original. Actually, they're going to give him the 42. Generous spot. So Woodford County's defense trying to get off the field here on this 3rd down. They give it off to Rodriguez running left. He'll get close to the first down into Woodford County territory at the 49. He needs almost to the 48. It'll be 4th down. They're going to actually mark it right at the midfield stripe, so he's 2 yards shy. It'll be 4th and 2 for Southern. Looked like Garrison had a shot at him getting around the corner, just didn't get there in time to set the edge, and now Southern will go for it on 4th down. Whitehead and Rodriguez both in the backfield. This is a big play here. If you give Woodford County a short field too much, they're going to take advantage of it. Williams is the wing back to the left. Rodriguez and Whitehead, or Sullivan in the backfield, and Sullivan breaks free, gets the first down inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. And I think that was Mekhi Smith who missed him right at the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be 1st and 10 Southern from the Woodford County 44-yard line.
Click off and reopen it. That's what I would do.
I don't want to close the stream down because he still has audio. I don't want to break the stream.
So Woodford County with 4:08, their defense unable to get off the field on 3rd down. So it's 1st and 10 Southern with Whitehead moving to the left of Chambers. They give it off to Whitehead. He runs up the middle. He gets down to the 40, down to the 39-yard line. You know, we got a guy, Woodford County comes out throwing the ball, trying to establish the throwing game against Southern, which is a great move, but you got a guy who is bearing down on the school's all-time rushing record as far as yards are concerned. I thought the Jackets might try to hammer Stacy for a little bit and get Southern's defense up and then try to beat them deep. Whitehead to the right of Chambers. Back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. He has a man available out here. That's Etheridge. And he's going to be dropped right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him the 38, and I thought he got hit at the 39. Another generous spot. So the Jackets will come up defensively with a 3rd and 4 from their own 38. So Southern here on another big 3rd down here. Jackets had pressure, but they allowed Chambers to elude that pressure and find Etheridge out in the open. 2:42, no score left in the first quarter. They give it off to Rodriguez, and I believe the wideout started too soon. He did. A 5-yard penalty on Southern, and officials having a word with Brett Ursland, the big right guard for Southern. It's 3rd and 9 now for the Eagles from the Woodford County 43-yard line. Ursland easy to find. He's 6'5", 305 pounds. Is a junior. A lot of the offensive line, according to Coach Clark or Coach Payne, is being recruited by NAIA schools. Chambers looks out left, still looks, throws, and it's intercepted by Mekhi Smith. Headed the other direction, 50, 45. He has a convoy out in front of him, cuts it back in, breaks the tackle, gets down to the 20 of Madison Southern. And the Woodford County defense comes away with a takeaway. First interception for Mekhi Smith this season. He broke on the ball. Nice job of reading the slant. And a 45-yard return back down to the Madison Southern 21. And with 1:57 to play in the first quarter, Woodford County sets up shop just outside the red zone. Offensively for Woodford County, we have Xavier Hill over the ball. As the center, the right guard is Tristan Cook, Samuel Garrison. They pitch it back. This is Taylor, cuts it back in. He's in trouble. And we get a little bit of extra stuff, and that should be a flag. It is. A little bit too much. As the loss of few on Ethan Moore, a youngster for Southern. Now, Southern is experienced. They have a whole bunch of seniors and quite a few juniors sprinkled in the starting lineups on both sides of the ball. So they are experienced, but Moore is one of the young ones. He's a sophomore. And a 15-yard penalty on Madison Southern gives it to the Woodford, or to their 12-yard line. So it's 2nd down and 1. It was a dead ball. So Woodford with it at the Southern 12. They need the 11. 2nd and 1. Nason gives it off to Nelson. Cuts it inside. 12, 10, 5. We're going to get a flag way back here at the 25. And I have no idea what the official's looking at. It's an illegal shift. Two guys were moving. I don't know who in the world was moving along with Nelson, because that was a play we saw. So Nelson gets a touchdown erased off the board. It's illegal shift. I didn't see anybody in motion other than Aiden Nelson. It'll be 2nd down and 6 now after the illegal shift on Woodford County. Nice crowd out here tonight. We apologize for the video. It froze up on us, and we're having to get it up and running. Back to the more traditional look. The double wing back. In motion is Crow. They fake it. Nason running. Sprints right. He has a man available. That is Smith. Hit up in the air. Is it called on the backside? No. 3rd and 6 now for Woodford County. He was looking for Mackay Smith. The ball went up in the air. That one was deflected, and Leland Taylor made a diving effort for it and just couldn't get to it. So it's Woodford County 3rd and 6 from the 18-yard line. Excuse me. They need the 11, so we'll give them 7. So 3rd and 7 for the Jackets. We have yet to see Preston Stacy run the football. Nason back to throw, steps up, quick hitter across the middle. It's caught through it behind him, but a nice adjustment by Aiden Nelson at the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, a gain of 12. 1st and goal, Jackets from the southern 5-yard line as we're under a minute in a scoreless first quarter. So the Jackets looking to get the first points on the board here. The more traditional look, everybody in tight. They give it back to, give it to Stacy. He breaks free, gets down close to the goal line. Is he in? The ball popped loose. Officials slow in getting in there to determine whether Stacy got in or not, but he is stopped shy of the goal line. And they'll get the clock cranked up again as Woodford County actually had the football at the 1. So it's 2nd and goal from the 1. They give it off to Stacy. He should have gotten in. Oh, wow. They're going to mark him short. 3rd and goal. The end of the first quarter coming up. We're through 12 minutes of play here in the home game between Woodford County and Madison Southern. Back with more on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network. No score after 1. Woodford County High School football brought to you in part by the great J&B Marathon Cafe. If you go see them down there, Goldie and Becky and all the fine folks down there, they have the best breakfast in town at J&B Marathon. I can highly recommend the biscuit and gravy. Also by Woodford Family Physicians. Extensive care for every member of your family at Woodford Family Physicians on Crossfield Drive. Doctors Hutchinson, Vogelsang will take care of you, and they will take care of every member of your family. Also by Farm Bureau. Courtney Roberts, the agent in charge there, just off Lexington Road in Versailles. Go see Farm Bureaus. They can help you with any kind of insurance you need, whether it be home, motorcycle, your car, your property. They can take care of you at Farm Bureau. Also by Weatherization Plus on Frankfort Street in Versailles, just up from Woodford County High School. Go see Brian Paget and the fine folks at Weatherization Plus. They will give you a free in-home inspection and let you know what you need. And what they quote you, they won't differentiate from that. They will stick with it, and they will give you everything you need. We'll begin the second quarter. Woodford County, you're on the doorstep. It'll be 3rd and goal from the Madison Southern 2-yard line, actually just outside the 1. They said Stacy lost some yardage on that, but I don't know how in the world you can use yardage. Anyway, so they are now recognizing any members of a family here in attendance or that are at home, that people are here in attendance. They are recognizing those that have survived breast cancer. 3rd and goal from the Southern, just outside the Southern 1. They give it off to Stacy. He's in. Touchdown. Not a very emphatic touchdown signal from the far side official, but Woodford County leads 6-0 with 11:53 to play before halftime here in Versailles. And we'll look and see Sawyer Ford coming on to attempt the extra point here out of the hold of Andrew Nason. This is where it's been an adventure for Woodford County. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Boy, I tell you, you're going to have to bear with us, folks, on this officiating crew. Slow on the extended arms for the touchdown, and even slower between the two officials underneath the goalpost for the extra point. But 11:53 to play before halftime. It's Woodford County 7 and Madison Southern nothing here on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network, powered by DD Sports Productions. Woodford County taking advantage of an interception and big return by Mackay Smith to go 21 yards for the score here in Versailles. The first score of the ball game. Jackets lead 7-0. Woodford County High School football brought to you by the good folks over at Jason Go State Farm, just right across from the high school in Versailles. Jason Go, where they're big on getting you the help you need, whatever you need as far as insurance, they can take care of you. Jason Go State Farm, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Also by County 9 on Yellow Jacket Drive, just off US 60, right next to Woodford County High School. You can go see Brad and Will and all the folks over there. Unbridled creativity is welcome at County 9. They go onside. This one fielded by one of the up men. That is number 22, Riley Causey, a freshman, 5'10", 175 pounds. Dropped on it for the Eagles. And the Southern will begin 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line, trailing 7-0 here with 11:53 to play in the first half. So Chambers will have Rodriguez, and it looks like Sullivan. And they have Sullivan out in the flat. He gets it inside Woodford County territory, gets the first, bounces off a DeBrentz Johnson and gets a first down at the Woodford County 41-yard line. Ball was actually a lateral, so it's a run of 15 yards for Sullivan. And it's 1st and 10 Eagles from the Woodford County 41. Backs on either side. Twins here to the near side. They give it off. Nope. Chambers puts it on the ground. Picked up by Davion Sturgis. And if touchdown, Woodford County with 2 takeaways. This one is a 6-pointer. And if you catch Sturgis from behind, you got some serious wheels.
Well, hey, guys, sorry about the break there. We were trying to fix our video stream. Right now, it looks like we're going to stay in audio at least until halftime, and then we'll see what we can do. But that was a heck of a run. 2 big defensive plays.
Woodford County leading. And that was a play where I think Chambers, by the looks of it, wanted to give it to the running back, and I think it was Rodriguez. And communication not there between quarterback and running back.
That's
the ball left on the turf, and Sturgis picked it up.
Yeah.
And
it was a heck of a run.
Yeah, when he gets going, you can forget.
Well, 2 big defensive plays. I mean, we talked about it for – it's up.
And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So we're 2 for 2 on extra points tonight from Sawyer Ford. And with 11:12 to play before halftime, it's Woodford County now 14, Madison Southern nothing here in Versailles. And The Jackets won both games last year against Southern. They won over in Berea and kind of had similarities to last week's game against West Jessamine. Back and forth in the first half. The Jackets were able to extend the lead and win comfortably last year in Berea in the regular season of 56-20. Then in the rain and the cold here in the opening round of the 5A playoffs, the Jackets were able to knock off Madison Southern 36-7. But the Jackets, all of a sudden here in the last 2 or 3 ball games, starting to take the ball away at a rate that they did a year ago. They had a couple of fumble recoveries against Franklin County 3 weeks ago. Then they had a fumble recovery and an interception last week against West Jessamine. And tonight, a fumble recovery and now an interception, or a fumble recovery for a touchdown now, and an interception tonight. So 6 takeaways in the last 3 games.
That's big.
It's getting bigger.
Yeah, and it's nice to start start a game on the positive side of that.
Ford pooches this one down on the left side. It comes up to the middle guy. That is Mitchell Mills. And Mills downs it at, I believe, the 33-yard line of Madison Southern. Why, I said we have Sawyer Ford in there. Usually they let him go ahead and just boom it. But tonight he's gone 1 touchback and the next 2 kickoffs he squibbed.
Yeah, and it's still a weapon. You got to practice for both, no matter what. And that's setting things up. So you set up that your next week in prepping for both kickoffs.
They give it off to Sullivan. He runs to the right side. He ran into the Woodford County linebacker. I believe that is the joker over on that side, Preston Stacy, and they give him a gain of 4 to the 37. That was Rodriguez, not Sullivan. I beg your pardon. It'll be 2nd down and 6 from their own 37-yard line. 2 running backs, one on either side. They give it off to Sullivan this time, and he gets over the 40 to about the 41-yard line. They'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Madison Southern.
Well, I think Grant Garrison did a great job crashing down on that, and he got up off the bottom of that pile. But you can see him there swapping some folks out in the middle of that line. If Madison Southern is happy with 3 yards in a cloud of dust, Woodford County is going to have to do something about shoring up the middle of the field.
Well, you've got 285 Christian Ponce and 305 Tristan Cook in there right now. They give it off to Whitehead. He tries to bounce it. There is Grant Garrison, and then Jabari Alexander comes in to help clean it up. No gain. It'll be 4th and 2 for Southern from their own 41 with 9:45 to play in the first half. And if you're Southern, you're 2-5, but you're 1-1 in district play. It's early. I don't think you go for this, because if you give Woodford another short field.
Well, I don't know.
They're going for it. Chambers with Whitehead to his right. Trips here to the near side. They give it off to Whitehead. He's got the first down at midfield. And Christian Ponce had him stopped maybe at the line of scrimmage. And Whitehead has gotten bigger since last year. He was 195. He's up to 230.
Now they're going back to their quick line. They're taking out some of the sizes with Woodford County. And that time they just picked the right side. The offensive line had to do a good job of blocking their gap, and they did.
Right at midfield, a gain of 6 for Whitehead. They give it off to Rodriguez this time, and that is Sturgis who has him. He gets down to the Woodford County 47, a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for Southern. 8:45, the clock moving. We apologize for the video thing. In case you joined us late, we had some video to start the game, and all of a sudden it decided it wanted to act silly, so we're going to give you the audio version at least till halftime while we work on the video during the halftime break. Chambers with Rodriguez right directly behind him. 2 receivers to either side. Chambers back to throw. Steps up in the pocket, throwing deep. And going to call incidental contact.
Yeah, I think their legs got caught up as
Yeah,
they
it
were
looked like-
going. It didn't look like.
It looked like to me Etheridge was gearing down, and I don't know if he was going to break off the route or what, but his feet got tangled up with a defensive back over there, and that is Aiden Nelson.
And Madison Southern fans are upset about somebody missing a call. I think that might be the tale of the night.
Yeah, well, we had a blatant face mask on the initial drive for Woodford County, and on a sack that would have given Woodford a first down. A lot of motion from Southern. They give it off to Rodriguez. He'll bang it up in there. He'll get down close to the first down.
Well, he's still going.
And I think he got the first down to the 39-yard line. That was aided by number 52 for the Eagles. That's Keaton Miller, a 6'1", 255-pound center for the Eagles. He gave the old bush push.
A little timeout for Woodford County.
A
Here.
timeout Woodford County here.
I'll tell you,
for
Darren,
sales.
what Madison Southern is seeing here is they found that they can run in between the tackles here and possibly off the centers left and right, and their offensive line is doing a good job of sealing off any kind of penetration for the interior of the defensive line from Woodford County, and they're playing it so tight that the speed from the outside isn't really having a huge impact. So Woodford's going to need to make some adjustments either in their defensive line scheme or in their personnel there to try and keep this short run. Because right now Madison Southern is looking pretty happy by just keeping the ball on the ground and running it straight ahead.
Well, one of the few times Woodford County's defensive line has been outsized. You have the center is Keaton Miller, 6'1", 255, and a senior. The left guard is Carson Liver, 6'3", 275, and a senior. The left tackle is Caleb Johnson, 6'1", 280, and a senior. The right side is Brett Ursuline, 6'5", 305, and a senior. And the left tackle is, I believe, Jacob
Trying
Ward.
to go to the outside here.
They give it off to Sullivan. He's still going, and they pull him backwards down at the 32-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7. It'll be second down and 3.
That time they just ran a little counter option. They could have pulled back. I don't know.
Well,
They basically ran what looked like a jet and then gave the ball inside. Very similar to what Franklin County had a lot of success with a couple of weeks ago.
so Woodford County's defense giving up some yardage here in the early going with 7:19, and it's second down and 3. Sullivan is the guy behind Chambers. He gets it up in there. He gets down inside the 30. He's going to be close to a first down. A little bit of extracurricular there between Greer and Ponce.
Oh, both. I'll tell you what. There's not probably a more frustrating position to be in on the defensive line than to keep getting pushed back like this offensive line is doing. They're just beating them right off the line. And giving the running back 2 yards like that, giving them a full head of steam, you're going to get 3 yards just on that slam forward.
Third and less than a yard, about 6 inches. And this is where Woodford County's offense is a little bit more.
We got whistles here.
We got whistles. What are they going to ask for a spot?
Mark.
They
may.
Are they going to ask for a measurement?
I mean, if coach wants a measurement, they're going to
Now
give
they
him
give
the
them the
first
first
down.
down.
Yeah.
Well, the coach asked for a measurement, and then you just go in there and you look 4 or 5 times to the sticks and then the football, then the sticks and the football. Why not just bring it out?
I don't know, Darren.
It is what it is.
I
First and 10, though, for Southern. I know we were short for officials over the United States, not just in Kentucky. They give it off to Whitehead. He tries to bounce it and bend it back, like I said last night, Andy, and he gets 2. He was actually stopped for no gain and maybe a loss of a yard. But, again, we are here in the early stages of the second quarter. Actually, we're halfway through this second quarter in a fast-moving ball game. Like we did last week in the first half against West Jessamine, not wrapping up.
Yeah, well, it's that time he just Whitehead just kept his feet moving, and both running backs are doing a great job of just charging through that. And they're getting a second push from the offensive line.
Whitehead to the left of Chambers. They give it off to Whitehead. Big hole. Sturgis has him down about the 20-yard line, but it's another first down for Southern, it looks like.
Once again, that offensive line was able to seal off the left side of the Woodford County defensive line.
But you see what I'm talking about, Andy, and I wish our viewers could. We'll work on this at halftime, but that play was scheduled to go to the right, and he bent it back to the left on his own. It'll be 3rd and a yard for Southern. They are in 4-down territory, trailing by 2 scores. Chambers gives it off to Rodriguez. He has the first down. Bug missed him in the backfield, and it's a first down for Southern at the Woodford County 18-yard line. So Southern with their initial drive into the red zone here in Versailles. And at 4:30, and this is a 7-minute drive for Southern. First time I've seen an official holler at a player and tell him to pull his knee. Oh, my goodness. He's in more offside, yeah. He's had a couple of those. That's his second false start penalty, and he is also the young man who is guilty of a personal foul. They gave Woodford County a first down on their first touchdown of the night. So it's a 5-yard penalty. It'd be 1st and 15. As Southern is working on an 8-minute drive here. And that's where those short kickoffs, I think, begin to bother me. Here's another throw out. It's dropped by Moore. Looked like nope, that's Aiden Nelson. Got a hand in there to punch it away, so it's 2nd and 15.
Now, so far, the best defensive player Woodford County has is Madison Southern. That jump when you're running a game that's 3-4 yards at a pop, when you get behind the sticks by 5 yards, it's really tough to maintain that unless you can get those 5 or 6 yards or more back on the first play. And running from that 15, when you're behind the sticks like that, it's very difficult to do what they're doing.
2nd down and 15 for Southern from the Woodford County 23. They give it off to Sullivan, and he gets to the 21. It'll be 3rd and about 13. With 3:41 in the clock on the move here in the first half, Woodford County leads 14-0. A short 1-yard run from Preston Stacy, and then a 53-yard fumble return for a touchdown by Davion Sturgis.
I don't know how big Sullivan is, but he is hitting that hole really hard. He's coming with a full head of steam. You've got the numbers there.
Yeah, they list him at 5'9", 170.
He is hitting. One of the reasons that he ran through Jackson Bugg's arms earlier is that he's hitting that hole very fast.
And we have a timeout, Woodford County, the second timeout of the first half on the Jackets, as they were trying to get Preston Stacy off the field when they had a substitute late. Officials are here on the near side's more worried about coaches being on the field or up towards the out-of-bounds marker than things taking place in front of him. He's been in constant chatter with either head coach Dennis Johnson or a couple of other members of his coaching staff. But the Jackets take a timeout, their second one of the first half, and with 3:08 to play, the Jackets up 14-0 in what has not been a stellar performance offensively, but the Jackets have two takeaways, and both have turned into points. One was an interception return back to the Southern 21-yard line. The Jackets took it in from there, and then the other was that 57-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown by Davion Sturgis. 3rd and 13 for Southern from the Woodford County 23-yard line. Chambers back to throw, and down he goes as Coach Keith Brown decided to turn up the heat a little bit. The first guy there, Layton Starks. And then Jackson Bugg got in to finish him off.
Then again, Darren, that's when you get behind like that. You can't run. You hit your run's not working for your bigger yards. You can get 4 yards, but the math flips when
Right.
you drop back 5 yards, and now you have to throw the ball. And that allows Woodford County to pin their ears back and come
You get
with everybody.
you get in that 3rd and long, and Coach Keith Brown loves it. He said, "I'll turn up the heat," and you can doggone well bet even more is coming.
Time to blitz the world.
Yep, 2:28 to play. Southern in no hurry.
Sometimes coaches call that the kitchen sink call.
Yeah.
send everything but.
Yeah, now Southern says we need a timeout as we're taking a little bit too much time to get this play off. It's 4th, and we got it to 26. They need to get down to the 9. They say 4th and 17. It looks to be a little bit more than that over there.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe a little deeper than 17, but not much. It's maybe 18, but it's not. I'll tell you that Madison Southern's game plan works really, really well if you don't jump offside.
Jump off sides
Early in
or,
the
give up,
game, early.
or give up a sack.
Well, the sack doesn't happen if you're able to run your offense the way that they were running it, because they were just going right, left, counter, straight ahead, dive, counter.
And Whitehead is a
He's
beast.
a load, and both of their backs impressively are hitting the hole very, very hard. But that all goes away as soon as you get behind the sticks, and
Correct.
And, that allows Woodford County's defense to capitalize on their speed instead of trying to deal with that being outsized in the middle.
Well, Woodford County looking to get off the field here on 4th and 18, and I guarantee you, how do you only have 12 guys on the field for Southern when you come out of a timeout? 2 receivers to either side, a tight end in there. Chambers back to throw, down he goes, and that is Layton Starks. The 6'5", 195-pound.
Well, both Bugg and Starks were right on top of him right away. Starks brought him down to the ground, but he didn't have anywhere to go. If he turns left, he gets Bugg. He turns right, he takes Starks.
Take Starks and you pick your poison.
Yeah. Woodford County needed that stand on that because the Madison Southern had the ball for the entire third quarter that time.
Yeah.
Or second quarter, excuse me.
Well, and here's the thing. Now, if you're Woodford County, you have the potential to make this a 3-score game, and then you get the football to start the second half.
So as long as they can stay patient and play their game. 2 minutes is a long time in a football game.
Agreed. Stacy moves to the right of Mason. They bring
They got a flag. We got a hold in the backfield.
either that or he's going to call an illegal motion again or an illegal shift. Let's see what he's got. That's not an illegal shift.
Yeah, I don't know. We need
That's
that
not an
explained.
illegal shift.
If that's the case, if only one person can be in motion at a time,
Stacy got set.
well, Madison Southern is running a two motion then multiple times.
Correct.
So I don't understand. Stacy got set, and then you play. I don't, and he's throwing that after the snap of the football.
Right.
He's not throwing it as soon as he sees it, so I don't understand that.
I don't either. It's 1st and 15 for Woodford County from their own 25. Under 2 minutes to play here in the opening half. Woodford County leads 14-0. An offensive and defensive touchdown. Mason back to throw. Throws a long pass out here to Mackay Smith. Works on Sullivan. He breaks the tackle of Sullivan. Gets knocked out of bounds. How you can run the clock? He got knocked out of bounds. He didn't go down in bounds.
That's all right. I think Woodford did a good job of stretching that ball out.
You got 8 on the play. Make it 10. It's 2nd down and 5. Actually, make it 9. He's 2nd down and 6.
Well, that time, I think Woodford County doing that really opens things up for him. Even though it was a short game, they still got 1:20 left.
2nd down. They give it off to Stacy running up the middle. He gets to the 38 of Woodford County as we head towards 60 seconds left. And Southern not getting up off the pile there. They're
Well, I mean, that's what you do, right?
Taking
You
their
slow
time.
it down, sure.
Well, I've seen officials at the college level, and I don't know if they do it more at the high school, but they'll stop if the defense is just resting on somebody's legs.
Well, it's a called thing. Defensive coordinators love to call it.
Yeah.
So.
3rd and 2 for Woodford from their own 38-yard line. More conventional look here this time for the Jackets. They fake it. Nason will pitch. He gets the first down up to the 41-yard line, and more like a little pass there for
well, Nason was wrapped up there, and, you know, that's
they
the
are
kind of thing that
attacking
makes
the option there.
that's the kind of thing that makes coaches pull their hair out when a quarterback does that. But
It looked like something Jerry Lorenzen, the late Jerry Lorenzen would have done.
yeah, Jim Harbaugh in 1984 loved to do that.
Yeah, I think Woodford County is going to eat the clock here. They got one time. They're going to take it to the locker room. Woodford County will lead here at halftime. It hasn't been a thing of beauty on the offensive side for Woodford County, but they haven't needed to do that.
Defense has shown up huge tonight for Woodford County.
So we're through one half of play here in Versailles. Woodford County leads over Madison Southern 14-0. We'll be back with halftime on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network. Back here at Community Stadium in Versailles, we're at halftime. It hasn't been pretty, but Woodford County leads 14-0. An offensive touchdown and then a defensive touchdown of a scoop and score by Davion Sturgis. Preston Stacy with the initial touchdown. Well, some good news and some bad news last night for Woodford County Middle School football. 7th and 8th grade, both playing for the Bluegrass Conference Championship last night down in Frankfort at Western Hills High School. Well, 7th grade victorious over Georgetown Middle by a final score of 34-14. 8th grade losing for the first time in the nightcap to Campbell Middle School out of Winchester, Kentucky by a final score of 24-12. I say that because the head man for the Tigers is sitting next to me, Dave Thomas, former player of mine, former coach here at the high school. He's been about everywhere. And Dave, first off, congratulations on a good year from both your ball clubs. The 8th grade, 8-1 now heading into the state playoffs. The 7th grade, 9-0 heading into the playoffs. You know that the 8th grade gets a bye, so they won't be playing till the 22nd of October. They'll be playing here, but we don't know who just quite yet because they get a winner of Union.
Now, get the winner of Anderson County and Oldham County first.
Okay, Anderson and Oldham. Well, history tells us Woodford County fans don't like either of those schools.
Pretty much, no. So, and I'll take whoever they put in front of us. So at this point, with the season that we've had, obviously the 8th grade ran into a really great opponent last night in Campbell. They're defending state finalists, so they lost in the state finals to Northern Pulaski, the same team that put us out. We didn't show up to play as well as we wanted to. We came out a little bit flat. They got a couple scores early, and it was even after that. So, line them up. I'm not afraid of anybody, and I know my kids aren't either.
And you want another shot at them.
Absolutely.
But the good news is they are on the opposite side of the bracket, so you have a chance to get to the championship game. Site to be undetermined yet with that, but you got a shot at it, but we'll take them one game at a time. But your 7th grade jumped immediately on an undefeated Georgetown Middle team who, by the way, and I've already talked about this, are the number 1 seed in the region. You're undefeated. You spanked them last night.
Yeah.
and you're number 3 seed.
Well,
Go figure.
You know, one of the things I've found with the Middle School Football Association is that the seeding is not very accurate. You know, the same Campbell team that beat us last night is a 2 seed in one of the 8th grade brackets behind Elkhorn, who we beat and Campbell beat in the conference semifinal. So, you know, it's
and beat
not
them pretty
entirely
good, if I'm not
accurate.
mistaken.
They did. I think it was 28-6.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not always accurate. Doesn't bother me a bit. Gives us a chance. You know, sometimes a bye week can be more of a detriment than it can good because it gets you out of rhythm. So,
Right.
you know, 7th grade has Fairstown Middle School out of Berea coming to town on Thursday. So actually, we're going to play here on the turf at 7:00 next, Thursday night. Ready to go. You know, I mean that game last night, we had watched some film, and one of the coaches on my staff knew one of the coaches from Georgetown Middle and said, you know, they pretty much told us, hey, we're going to give you large doses of 19. Was a kid that they had, and first play of the game figured out that he wasn't everything that he looked like he was on film. And about halfway through the second quarter, I'm pretty sure he had checked out. You know, I mean, final score, wasn't even as close as it looked. You
Right.
know, we were up 20-0 before they ever did anything, and you know, it was just a great game on our kids' part. You know, Chris Lucas ran for, I think, 4 touchdowns, and Braden Wallace, my quarterback, scrambled for another one. It was just a really good night, a solid game. Had Dylan Branson and Cameron Johnson, both Derek Johnson's son, had great games on the D-line. It was a great performance, and so I'm just eager to see what this team's capable of doing.
Well, we might want to clarify that's little Derek Johnson's, because we have 2 Dereks up here. Of course, Dennis's brother. The other thing is, too, you were talking about Chris Lucas. I got to watch you guys play in the semifinals of the conference tournament against Royal Springs, and was highly impressed. Number one with the team overall. But I thought when I heard the young man's last name, I went, is he kin to Garrick? And immediately I was told yes. And I thought, oh, my goodness. And then I hear he's better than Garrick is, and Garrick's an outstanding freshman here on the varsity. And then I hear little brother might be the better of the 3.
They say Giles might be the best one yet. And that, after having Coach Garrick and Chris, that's a really scary thought. You know, I mean, two really, really gifted athletes.
Yeah.
And
look like they've been chiseled out of a piece of granite.
They really do, you know, but it's funny in saying that, though. They're ironically a lot different for being brothers as well, because Garrick is nice, you know, longer and lean. Chris is a little more compact and built a little more like a true running back.
Fast.
But, you know, he's the strongest kid on the field and the fastest kid on the field, and I don't care who else you put on it.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, folks, a lot of people think that this could be one of the I don't want to say golden eras, but one of the best eras of football for Woodford County because of what you guys are doing down there at the middle school and what they are doing down at the youth football level. The cupboard is not going to be bare for a little while.
No, and that was the plan from the beginning. You know, when I got hired as the middle school head coach, Dennis was actually on the committee that hired me, and his one question to me was, would you be willing to run the high school's offense and defense? And I just looked at him and said, well, that was my plan anyway.
Right.
You know, and over the last 5 seasons, we've developed a really great working relationship with each other. You know, and I mean, you see it at high school games on Friday nights, but also at middle school games on Thursday nights. You know, before the game tonight, my kids are down on the sideline, and Thursday nights at our games, the high school, when they finish practice, all their kids were out supporting our kids. And so, you know, it's really the culmination of a lot of work that started 5 seasons ago in really trying to build a feeder program, which is something when you look at all the other successful programs perennially throughout the state, you know, Scott County and a lot of those programs all have programs that start developing kids for that system in the youth leagues.
Right.
You know, at first it started with just at the middle school, but then 2 or 3 seasons ago, the youth league got on board with what we were doing. And, you know, I mean, the future really is bright.
We have some athletes coming through, that's for sure. And you know, I tell everybody when I talk to them about why has Woodford gotten so good pretty quick. I said, well, first off, you got to look at Dennis Johnson and his staff. They have been together pretty much from the get-go. I don't think anybody's left. They brought a couple of people on board extra as things go. That's one. Two, your staff has pretty much stayed intact down there. Then we have the guys down at the youth level that have been stayed intact, and some of them have no children involved. They're actually older already, so they're doing down there yeoman's work as well. And I said, the programs are built, like you said, from the ground up, and I use two programs. Excuse me. I use two programs to look at, and I said, if you look at what Belfry does, their middle school wears the exact same style of uniforms, complete with the crossbones and skull on the sides of the helmets, with Belfry across the chest, like their high school does. So does Bowling Green. So when you get those types of teams and programs, that's why you want to try to do this. Now, let me ask you this about the 8th grade. The 8th grade, I saw a couple of kids' pictures people had posted on Facebook. They looked more like, okay, yeah, we had tonight. We didn't play our best. But it looked like a determination in the eyes. Not the face, the eyes tell it, and they're ready to go.
Absolutely, and that's one of the great things about the group of kids that we have this year is that they're hungry. There were a couple tears shed last night, but we quickly turned that around into, hey, we get the opportunity, we'll see them again.
Right.
And so the kids are hungry, and honestly, as a coach, well, I don't know about any coach. I hate losing. But if there was a time for us to lose a game, I'd rather have had it happen last night than a couple weeks from now. We really hadn't been challenged until last night as a team. Georgetown challenged us a little bit last week in the first half, but the second half was our game completely. So we really hadn't faced a whole lot of adversity.
Right.
And it was one of the things, we tried to talk to the team about it, and you can talk about it all you want, but the kids have to experience it. When you face some adversity, how do you respond? And so there were some teachable moments from last night. We're going to build off of it, and we're going to get better.
Well, I do know that we have really enjoyed a lot of those kids that you have sent up. And you played for probably one of the, I don't want to say toughest coaches, but one of those coaches that didn't like to lose either, and Joe Carr Sr. And,
oh, absolutely.
We want to make sure that, people know that a coach can be hard on a kid, but yet that instills a toughness in a kid that not only will help him on the football field, but will help him in life later.
Absolutely. And you're talking about Coach Carr. The very first thing I did when I got hired was bring back a saying that Coach Carr taught us was good, better, best. Don't let it rest until your good is better than your best. And it's something that we instill in our kids every day, is that you constantly have to be working. It doesn't matter how good you are, work and be better.
Right.
And so they've grabbed a hold of it, and you're right. I mean, Coach Carr, we didn't lose when we were in middle school. Coach Carr is one of the best coaches I've ever experienced, and then I had the privilege of having John Marilovich as an assistant coach my first 2 years in high school, who was a coach at UK in the late 70s when they were really good, played in the USFL, played college football at Miami. I had the opportunity to learn from some really, really great coaches, and I've taken a little bit from each of them over the years, and then having had the opportunities to coach in some other programs and taken the best of what I can from each of them and created something that, my goal is that the kids love to play in and we win. And one thing we tell our kids every year is we're not going to lose a game because somebody's in better shape than we are. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've been as successful as we have this year, is that when everybody else is fading late in the third and in the fourth quarter, we still have a full tank of gas.
Right.
And work really hard on coaching fundamentally sound football and being tough. That toughness that you're talking about is something that life's going to be life. It's not always going to care what
Right.
you think or what you want. And so we do, my staff and I, we coach hard, but we also coach lovingly. You
Right.
know, I will be the first one. I will yell at you. I'll chew you out when it's needed. But then a couple minutes later, I'm going to pull you under my arm and talk to you and tell you in a more loving manner. But,
Yeah.
you know, in the moment, they need that motivation sometimes.
Let me ask you this. For fans out there that want to come see the 7th grade play Thursday night here at Community Stadium, it's at 7 o'clock. How do they get tickets? I know it's probably on GoFan.
GoFan.co. So it'd be under Woodford County Middle School.
Okay.
Last time I know they did take some cash at the gate as well. So
Okay. Well, just
either way, just show up. We'll get you in.
We'll get you in, but GoFan.com.
No,
.go?
.com.
.go?
.co. C-O.
Co. Okay. All right. I need to have my hearing checked.
Well, you are getting old there.
Oh, hey now. Hey now. That hurts. That's from a former player, guys. Dave Thomas, the head coach of Woodford County Middle School Tigers. We hope and wish the 7th grade good luck on Thursday night, and in 2 weeks after that, the 8th grade, and hopefully the 7th grade will be playing as well.
Absolutely.
So good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Dave Thomas here with us at halftime. Woodford County and Madison Southern. It's Jackets 14, Southern nothing as we get ready to start the third quarter here from Community Stadium. We get set for second half action here in Versailles at Community Stadium. Jackets on the road next Friday night when we go down to Shelbyville to take on Collins. The Jackets lead 14-0. A 1-yard run from Preston Stacy at the start of the second quarter. And then a fumble recovery for a touchdown of 53 yards from Davion Sturgis. Sawyer Ford added to both extra points, and we lead 14-0. Back deep, Aiden Nelson and that's Kenyon Maxbury. That hits at the 15. Leland Taylor picks it up, dances up, gets close to the 20-yard line, and that's where he'll be. Stopped right at the 20-yard line. So a return of about 5 yards, and Woodford County will be 80 yards from the end zone. And, of course, number 30, I don't have him on the Madison Southern roster, so I'm guessing. So the Jackets, who offensively didn't have the ball all that much offensively in the first half. A touchdown drive, a turnover on downs. And that was pretty much the entire offensive thrust for Woodford County in the first half. We go back to the pistol formation. Nason back to throw. Throws out here in the flat. This is Mackay Smith. He'll dance, and then Chambers comes in with a helmet, led with the helmet into the, looked like the lower back of Mackay Smith, but he got 4 out to the 24-yard line. It'll be second down and 6. Jackets still throwing the football a lot. Of course, Southern is basically selling out against the run. Again, we're working on our video. We had it for about the first 20 minutes of the broadcast, and then it has not been cooperating since, but we appreciate you joining with us. Draw play to Stacy. Runs here to the near side. He gets maybe out to the 28-yard line. They're going to actually give him the 27-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 3 on the opening drive of the second half for Woodford County here. From their own 27, Jackets lead 14-0. Jackets having a little trouble moving that defensive front for Southern. And the 2 wing backs are there. Stacy in the pistol formation. They throw out here in the flat. Mackay Smith has the first down, lowers his shoulder, and then goes head over heels to the 37-yard line. It'll be gain of 10. It'll be 1st and 10 Jackets from their own 37-yard line. Opening drive of the second half, Jackets lead 14-0. It'll be back to the pistol formation. We have seen this more tonight than we expected from the Jackets. Nason back to throw. Fakes on the double go. This is Mackay Smith. He catches it, but he's out of bounds. Official runs all the way down to where he was knocked out of he's put out of bounds. And the Jackets, as Sullivan got physical with Mackay Smith and kind of just bumped him out of bounds, it'll be 2nd down and 10. Woodford County throwing the ball a lot more tonight against Southern than I really expected them to do tonight. So we go back to the more traditional double wing look. Baxberry in motion. They pitch it to him. He puts it on the ground, and he got it back. A loss back to the 33-yard line. And it'll be 3rd and about 14 for Woodford County. So 3rd and 14 for Woodford County on the opening drive here of the second half. Jackets lead 14-0. It has been a struggle offensively tonight for Woodford. Pistol formation. Nason back to throw. Looking to the outside. And undercutting the route was Mitchell Mills. And it's incomplete. And it goes back to 4th and 14. And the Jackets will punt it away for the first time tonight. They did not punt at all a week ago. But the Jackets really with only 4 possessions tonight. And the offense has been really struggling. And Sawyer Ford will be back to punt, and back deep is Cade Sullivan. He waits at his own 23-yard line. Brent Johnson's the center. Nice snap, and Ford hits an end-over-end kick. It'll hit at the 37 of Southern. It bounces inside the 25 and rolls down inside the 20 and will be dropped and downed at the Madison Southern 16-yard line. "48-yard punt, no return." About 20 on the ground as it bounced and then started rolling, but that's what you'll take, and it'll be Madison Southern ball, 1st and 10, after forcing Woodford County after 1 first down into a punt situation. That, though, was partially because Woodford County put the ball on the ground on that toss sweep that they run so well. It'll be Chambers in at quarterback. And off to the left side. He tries to get around the outside corner. That is Sullivan in the Wildcat position. And actually, that's Etheridge. Etheridge bounced out of bounds after a gain of 2 by Mackay Smith along with Jackson Bugg. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles. Now they go more back to Etheridge, flanked by Sullivan and Whitehead. They give it off to Whitehead. Big hole. Bounces off a tackle. Still on his feet. And he gets up over the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And again, somebody, and it looked like DeBrence Johnson came in just and stuck a shoulder into him, and that's not going to bring down a guy the caliber and the size of Whitehead. Orberson in, replacing Sowards. It's 1st and 10, Southern from their own 33-yard line on their first drive of the ball game. Gives it off to Rodriguez, running right, sidesteps up to the 40-yard line, gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. And the running backs are hitting the hole pretty hard for Southern. The problem is Woodford's pursuing that way, and every running back that's carried the ball tonight for Southern is looking to cut back against the green. And they're finding big yardage. 2nd down and 3 for Southern from their own 40. They give it off to Rodriguez. He'll get the first down up over the 45 to the 46-yard line. A gain of 6, 1st and 10 Southern. And right now, Woodford has no answer for the running game of Madison Southern. So the Jackets looking for answers as Graham Hodge will replace Jackson Bugg at that Mike linebacker. So it's 1st and 10 Southern from their own 46. Etheridge in at quarterback. He gives it off to Whitehead, puts it on the ground. The ball's loose, and I think Woodford County's got it. Another mishandle of a handoff between Whitehead and the quarterback, this time Jay Sean Edwards, and it's the 3rd takeaway, and Davion Sturgis has his 2nd fumble recovery of the night. So it'll be 1st and 10 Woodford County from the Madison Southern 42-yard line. So opportunistic tonight is the Woodford County defense. 2 fumble recoveries, one that went for a touchdown, and an interception return that went for big yardage that set Woodford County up just outside the red zone. So with 7:37 to play in the 3rd, Woodford back up on the offensive attack, looking deep for Maxberry. Did he catch it? He did not. And Nason's got to lead him down that sideline. He just is not stepping into his throw. It's 2nd down and 10 for Woodford County from the Southern 42. I'd like to see Woodford County try to pound the football a little bit. Not only move the chains by doing that, but you make Southern respect that running game still. Back to the more traditional look. Receivers to either side, 2 wing backs. They pitch back to Maxberry, tries to cut it back in. He has him set up, and he throws him back. Whitehead with the tackle. Boy, they are flying to the football as Southern on the first initial play. I wouldn't mind. I don't know if they've got it in the repertoire, but you got enough speed on the outside with Nelson and with Mackay Smith. If you come in right, then you would be able to get there. Woodford comes out throwing the football again, Andy. I'm kind of surprised.
Well, me too, but at the same time, I think that Woodford County's trying to show something else.
They give it off to Nelson, running left. He breaks a tackle, gets around the corner, and it's see you later. He got a great block around the corner from, I believe that was Wyatt Crow, the wingback over there. That got him a great block, and then the big left tackle, Ram Alba, just obliterated the cornerback.
That was amazing. That was an amazing. You know, when you get those blocks out there on the edge like that just open things up, they open your entire offense up, really, because you can run around the edge. You can do about anything. And
explosiveness in the run game from one of your wideouts. And that was the same motion that we've seen the entire first half that they got called for 2 illegal shifts on. This time, no flag. And we're 3 for 3 on extra points. Woodford County leads with 6:37 to play in the 3rd, 21-0 over Madison Southern. Back with the kickoff here in just a moment on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network. We want to thank everybody again for keeping us aware of our video issues. We have tried to correct the problem without losing the audio sound. We are aware of these issues, and we are unable to correct the problem without losing the broadcast at the same time. So we appreciate you listening and staying with us, and we will try to correct the problem before we get underway next week, pending answers back from the athletic director at Collins.
Okay.
whether or not we can video stream or not next Friday night. But
Yeah, folks,
we are aware of it.
We've done everything we can on this
Yeah.
end to try and fix that without completely losing our broadcast tonight. So we appreciate y'all's patience, and we do appreciate
You listening.
you listening and your support tonight. So thank
we-
you so much.
We were hoping to have the video, and we had it for 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden it decided it just wanted to not work anymore for us. And everybody up here has been working diligently while I tried to bring you the broadcast. So,
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
yeah, we do. 6:37 to play. Woodford County now at 21-0. And Ford will kick off. And now we get the pooch kick. This comes down to Mills, and Mills.
Mills did a great job.
Yeah.
So, you talked about this. We talked about this almost every single game. The first thing Mills did was catch the ball.
Yeah.
When he wasn't brought down immediately, he double skinned it and just started basically walking forward.
Yeah.
And as he moved forward, that's one of the perils of the pooch.
Yeah.
is that you're kicking short, and everybody's running for the football instead of the man with the football.
Yeah.
He's able to catch it and keep up. He did a great job. He got about 4 yards on that return, 5 yards on that return. You can't ask for more than from an up lineman on a kick return team.
well-
That was a heads-up play.
Mitchell actually is listed as a wide receiver, so he's got pretty good hands.
Oh, it was a really heads-up play on his
Yep.
part.
1st and 10 Southern from their own 49-yard line, but you give them a short field. They give it to Whitehead running right, and he runs right in.
Boy, he ran into about 3 people at once,
Well, the
but
first guy there
it looks like
was Jackson Bugg.
you had,
Then Grant Garrison and Jasper Johnson
yeah.
joined in on the tackle. We haven't seen Jasper for a while, but he played a little bit last week.
Well, he came up very well into the hole there.
They give him
Did
2 to the
Johnson.
49.
Yeah, I think he
That's a very generous spot. 2nd down and 8. I thought he got stopped maybe after a yard. But it's 2nd down and 8. Pistol formation. Chambers back in at quarterback. Williams from right side to left side. From the wing back,
him
this is
again.
Whitehead. He tries to bounce it. Somebody down around the ankles.
boy.
That's
I'll tell
Bug
you what.
again.
Well, check that.
Nope, that's
36.
Preston Stacy.
Preston Stacy did a great job of making contact and
They give him the 47.
maintaining his tackle on that.
So it's 3rd and 6 for Southern. They have done a pretty good job of staying ahead of the sticks. There have been a couple of drives where they've hurt themselves with motion penalties. They bring Etheridge in motion, give it to Rodriguez. He gets down inside the 45 to the 44-yard line.
That's the first time I've seen Rodriguez hit a hole gingerly. He didn't really hit, but he had a hole to hit, and that was the problem there.
It'll be 4th down and about 3 from the 44. They need the Woodford County 41.
Madison Southern is maintained. They're not going to give the ball up for
No.
anything.
They've punted once tonight. The Jackets have punted also once, but Woodford didn't punt at all last week.
Right.
Never even thought about it, to be honest with you. 4th and 3 from the Woodford County 44.
Know where the ball's going.
They give it off, and Rodriguez, he's going to be shy by about a yard. They're going to mark it at the 42.
It's
They're going to mark it at the 43. He needed the 41. He's only a couple of yards shy. It'll be 1st and 10, Woodford County. A nice stop.
I'll tell you what, man, that spot, that was close. And he came out of there a little bit, did Rodriguez, and they marked his knee.
Yeah, they gave him the knee. They didn't give where the ball was located, which, again, by rule, is supposed to be where the ball is, even if the knee
He
goes
was
down, correct?
really close on that. Unless
it
he
helps.
went down and jumped forward, that was a favorable spot for Woodford County. It doesn't matter because they get the ball back to up 21-0.
Yeah, if Rodriguez is 6, let's see, if Rodriguez is 6'2", like Stephen Whitehead is, that's 4 inches, 5'10". He's got a 1st down there. 1st and 10, Woodford County. Nason back to throw. Looking down the seam for Mackay Smith. He had it and dropped it.
No, Smith just flat out dropped that one. That ball was on
That was
the
a
money.
nice, decent throw, but again, Nason's not stepping into his throws. He's staying flat-footed when he releases the football. If he steps into it, Mackay Smith has the crease right there, and let him run into it. I mean, if you overthrow it, it's fine.
The young quarterback will have more
Yeah.
confidence in his body as he moves forward. As a 15-year-old,
Agreed.
I think that he did a great job of finding the open receiver there. He had plenty of time. His offensive line did an excellent job. But as he gets more and more confidence in that arm, I think he'll do just exactly what you said.
7-man front for
Ball's on the ground.
Nason. Loses it, but he gets a yard to the 44, so it'll be 3rd and 9.
Well, that time, I'll tell you what, Madison Southern at 99 there in the center of that line is
Eric
lucky
Barnes.
he got his arms around Nason because he had nothing but green grass in front of him.
Or Eric Roberts, 6'2", 240, and a junior.
They
got some big boys up front. You know, they got some size. They also have Isaac Moore, number 36. He goes 6'1", 240. You got Roberts, as I mentioned just now. He's also 6'2", 240. The little guys are the linebackers, except for Whitehead. They give it off on the sweep here to Maxbury, and he gives ground, and he's going to be dropped right at the line of scrimmage.
That's the first time we've seen a team string Maxbury. Maybe the second time Madison Southern's done it, string Maxbury all the way out to the sideline like that. He usually makes a decision and gains positive yards. That time he just kind of bounced along. That's exactly what a defense wants you to do.
It'll be 4th and 9, and Woodford County for the second time tonight will be in punt formation. And since we are to the short side of the field, they moved Abdul Bilal from one side to the other. So Ford in punt formation. Sullivan back deep for Southern. He angles it off to the wide side, actually the near side here. It hits.
No whistles. They said that it hit a man.
And back up to Woodford County territory is Etheridge, I believe. Or is that Sullivan? That's Sullivan.
Yeah. No, that was a heads-up play from Sullivan, just taking the ball and going.
I have always wondered why Woodford County, or why not just Woodford County, but teams punt to the wide side of the field when you're trying to pin somebody back deep inside their 20. Why do you go to the wide side, not the short side?
Well, regardless, we're back where we started.
Yeah, right back at the 49-yard line. This is where Southern started their drive a moment ago at the Woodford County, or at their own 49-yard line.
Well, when you're up by 3 scores, 21-0 with 2:40.
This game has gone by fast. This is Etheridge. He gets away from Caleb Brown, who went in there just kind of reaching with a hand instead of going like we've seen Caleb do. And Etheridge gets into Woodford County territory. They look like they've marked him at the 46-yard line. That'll be a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 with 2:20 to play. Now, Southern has done exactly what most teams have thought about doing and trying, and Franklin County did a pretty good job of it in the first half against Woodford County a couple of weeks ago. And that's try to keep the ball away from Woodford County's offense. And they've done a good job of it.
They have done a very good job of it.
Etheridge on the quarterback draw. He comes out here to the left side. He gets the first down. And out of bounds. And the Woodford County crowd down below wanting to hold on Ethan Moore. He just bear hugged, and I believe that was DeBrince Johnson.
DeBrince Johnson did a great job regardless of the hold. He held his position. He still made that tackle through the hold, forcing the quarterback to the sideline. So maybe that should have been a hold, but DeBrince Johnson did a great job of playing anyway and going ahead and making the stop. He did an excellent job working that.
They give it off to Whitehead. He'll bounce it to the left side. Gets inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Well, I know the 5 gentlemen in the stripes tonight will not be on anybody in the stands here on the Woodford County sideline for a Christmas card this coming December. They have not been happy tonight with the 5 gentlemen wearing the stripes. 5 yards for Whitehead, who's had big games in the past against the Jackets. They give it off to Sullivan, who runs right into Jackson Bugg.
Jackson Bugg doing a great job of wrapping up and finishing the tackle on that one.
That's what the Mike linebacker's supposed to do. He's supposed to read the run and scrape, and he got a yard, did Sullivan. 3rd and about 4, a long 4. Under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Woodford County leads Madison Southern 21-0. Great crowd here tonight Etheridge on the quarterback keeper. He tries to come outside. Nice job by DeBrinch Johnson. And then Makai Smith finishes him off. They're going to give him the 28. Are you kidding me?
His forward progress is pretty magical.
Yeah. He got to the – I thought he got just back over the 30-yard line. They'll be 4th and about 5 now. Huh. Well, I know Coach Johnson, Dennis Johnson, the head coach, is keeping a real close proximity to the gentleman here, the official on the near side. We'll go to the fourth quarter. Woodford County leads 21-0 over Madison Southern here in Versailles. We'll have the fourth quarter in just a moment on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network. Want to also thank all of our fine sponsors along the network. Showplace Realty is a place that you can have your home, business, or commercial property sold by them, or they can find you one of those things to purchase. Go see Brad Lawson, the fine folks, 183 South Main Street in downtown Versailles. Go see them today and get all your needs taken care of for the realty firm of Showplace Realty. We appreciate all the fine work they do. Again, folks, we apologize. We had video stream early on. It decided it wanted to not work. We couldn't correct the problem. Without losing the audio broadcast. We felt this game was important enough to at least have the audio sound of this broadcast tonight here in Versailles, and unfortunately we weren't able to bring you video of this game, but we hope you're enjoying the audio broadcast here from Andy Smith and myself of the game tonight. We go to the fourth quarter. Jackets have got 3 takeaways, 3 touchdowns on the board. They've all been results of takeaways, both offensive drives after takeaways, and then we also had a direct touchdown on a defensive takeaway for the second touchdown of the night for Woodford County. 4th and about 5 for Southern from the Woodford County 28-yard line. We have a whistle and a timeout, Woodford County. Well, what's happened here, Southern came out with a certain package as far as players on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Woodford adjusted accordingly, and
Right.
then at the last minute after the play clock had whistled, or for the play clock to start, Southern ran 2 guys off and 2 new guys in a package deal on the field. And these no-huddle offenses, I don't know how that wouldn't be illegal substitution when the play clock started.
Well, once the play clock started, I don't think that, yeah.
Not the game clock, but the play clock.
Yeah.
So, nonetheless, Woodford County. Okay, we also have the volleyball. Or this is soccer. They will be hosting the first round of the 8th Region Tournament on Monday night. The time and opponent to be determined. Would love to give the team a support, so show out here. We don't know the time or date yet because they will have that drawing, I believe, on Sunday.
Okay.
Rolling to the right is Etheridge. After him is Ponce. He'll try to get to the first down. He won't get there. It'll be shy.
Boy, it's
again.
going to be really,
They're
really
gonna mark
close
him out
on the
at
mark.
the 25-yard line. I think he's a yard shy, looking near side official. We do have a congregation.
It's going to be real close on the mark.
He didn't get it.
Or did he go out of bounds? And everybody's asking the same question.
Yeah, he didn't get it. Woodford County ball.
They're going to bring out a mark.
Nope.
They're going to bring out a measurement. Nope.
I was going to say, you don't need to look at that. If he's on the 25, you need to get to the 24.
Yep. They put the ball on the 25-yard line. But I'll tell you what, man, that was awfully close, Darren. And Ponce finishing the play on that did a great job. The tackle was up in the air, but Ponce cleaning it up made no question about it.
I don't know who the defensive back was that came up for Woodford County. That might have been Jasper Johnson, who kept him from getting past that 24-yard line mark. He got to the 24 and a half. And my dad just sat up in his resting place and said, I sound like Hired Cosell. If you remember, that was his favorite saying, to the 24 and a half. So the Jackets looking to.
They're going to call procedure here. They've been doing that all year. I don't quite understand what the shift
This
is.
came from the umpire, and they call an illegal procedure against Woodford County.
They said that there were two people in motion at the same time, but I didn't see it.
I didn't either. Unless when Stacy moves from the pistol formation to the right or left of the quarterback, he has to be set for a second before the next player moves. But you see it all the time at the college level. So, I don't know. 1st and 15 from the 19-yard line for Woodford County. Stacy moves off to the right. Now here comes Nelson. He'll run right, cuts it back in. Big hole, gets up to the 29-yard line.
My goodness.
But I tell you what, look, all 11 players for Southern over on the far side of the field. If Nason wants to fake that, he can run all day long over here on the near side.
Well, they definitely keyed on Nelson, did Southern, and that's something that Woodford County might be able to take advantage of.
Gain of 9. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for Woodford County from their own 28-yard line. Twin receivers here to the near side, one back to the left. Stacy to the left now of Nason. They bring Makai Smith in motion. He cuts it back inside, gets up to the 30. He'll be about 4 yards shy of the first down.
Oh, that's a lesson in when you make your decision to cut, stay with your decision. Don't change your mind.
Looked like he was ice skating.
he looked like he had a second thought there after cutting up in there. But that's
I
still
call that
picked up.
dancing.
They're going to call another illegal shift.
That came from the umpire.
I don't understand
I
because
would
that time
love
I
to
counted
hear.
it out. I counted out their sets, and I counted a full 2 count on each set. So I don't understand what the call is there.
I would love to hear the explanation they are giving Coach Dennis Johnson. And it makes no sense. It'll be 2nd down and 11 now for Woodford County from their own 23-yard line. They give it off to Stacy. He gets up over the 30 to about over the 25 to about the 28-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 6. So we're right back where the 5-yard penalty came from the illegal shift.
Well, this is a 3rd down, 6 yards, maybe 7, and then Woodford County they're not really limited here. They can throw the ball about anywhere they want to. They can also keep it on the ground here and pick up some serious yards.
We go back to the traditional double wing look, receivers to either side. They fake it again.
Again, I don't know what the same
we have had
procedure
more procedure penalties in this, and I'll give the officials the benefit of the doubt on this, but here's what I'm going to say to this. How many teams run this style of offense in the state of Kentucky? I don't know of anybody else.
Yeah.
So they haven't seen this. They've seen that spread formation. So they don't see this kind of motion, and I don't know. So now it's 3rd and 11 as we go back and forth, bouncing back and forth. So Woodford County with 9:35 to play in the ball game, leading 21-0. Now Maxbury will move out.
That time they can blow a whistle.
Now be careful. We move again. Now we got 3rd guy moving. They put the ball on the floor, on the ground, and quit trying to pick it up. Just fall on the thing, and Woodford County gets it back inside. Nope.
No.
Southern's got it inside the 5. Why we tried to pick the football up, I have no idea.
No,
this is
like
not the
we got an
Woodford
injured
County
player.
team we have seen all year long, and I believe that is Aiden Nelson that's shaken up. It is.
Well,
And it's 1st and goal Southern from the Woodford County 6-yard line. It has been one thing after another for Woodford tonight. It's been a ton of penalties. Most of the illegal shift or illegal procedure penalties. And this turnover for Woodford County, when you have a situation, the ball's on the ground, instead of trying to just go ahead and fall on it and punt the ball and rely on your defense, who's got 3 takeaways tonight, you try to pick it up and run with it.
yep, that's what you get when you're dealing with high school kids. It's a thing that you've got to coach and coach and coach and coach and coach.
So it's first and goal, Southern from the Woodford County 6.
You tell them 100 times and they'll hear it once, maybe.
If they're lucky.
Yeah.
And down inside the 5 well, they actually put it right on the 5. A gain of 1. The entire center of that line, Ponce, along with Jackson Bugg, Davion Sturgis. And I believe that was Orberson in on the tackle for Woodford County. So the entire middle of that line, the 2 backers inside, and the nose and tackle for Woodford County. We have 3 tight ends. Chambers gives off to Rodriguez, cuts it up. He gets to the 5, and they're going to give him the 4. It'll be third and goal for for Southern from the Woodford County 4-yard line. They're going to give him the 4, but I tell you what, folks, he was straightened right up at the 5.
Well, he came down inside the hole there, and that was.
Yeah, well, it's third and goal for Southern. So third down and goal, under 8 minutes to play. Woodford County up 21-0. This has been one of those ugly games that you have to win throughout the year. Backs on either side of Chambers. He gives it off to Sullivan. He bounces it outside. No, sir. He's going to be stopped at the 5. And now we get a flag.
A late flag.
Yeah, and they're going to get a sideline warning on Dennis Johnson. And we get another flag. So it's probably going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty from the white hat. And I tell you what, folks, these guys are probably not going to be calling another Woodford County game for a while.
We'll see what we got. Unsportsmanlike conduct against
on
Woodford
Dennis
County.
Johnson. And I tell you what, that has been brewing the entire night from Dennis Johnson. I tell you what, it's an automatic first down. And they set offsides on Woodford County as well. Are you serious?
Both flags came in really late, so I don't know.
There's no way it could have been offsides. I think the one thrown from the linesman over here was a sideline situation.
Mm-hmm.
But the white hat decided that I'm going to throw a flag because I don't want a coach hollering at me.
So they're still, I don't know, yeah, somebody needs to either flip the down box.
Is it an automatic first down or what? None of the officials are doing anything with it here. It's down at the 2-yard line.
Ball goes half the distance, and they did not flip the down
So I
box.
assume it's half
Still
the
fourth
distance,
down.
and it's 4th and goal from the 2. 7:20 the clock moving. 21-0 Woodford County. They give it off to Rodriguez. Nada. And Woodford County's held again on 4th down. And Woodford County will have the football.
That was one heck of a stand by the entire center of
Yes,
that Woodford
sir.
County.
And Christian
defense
Ponce and Jackson Bugg were both there initially.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this, now we have unsportsmanlike
And then the
on
big
Woodford
man,
again. Are you serious?
Tristan Cook, again, came in there and did a heck of a job. And they're
I tell you what, they called unsportsmanlike conduct after the fact on Woodford County. So we go from the 2 down to the 1. So Woodford County will have it 1st and 10 from inside their own 1-yard line. There was another flag, and this again came from the white hat. So now we have twin wing backs and Stacy the fullback. They give it off on the counter to Stacy. He fights over the 5.
well, that was all Preston Stacy.
Yeah.
That was one heck of a run on Preston Stacy's part.
Well, that was.
We'll see if with the motions that Woodford County likes to employ, we'll see if they're able to move the ball more than 5 yards at a time here.
Preston Williams down around the ankles, number 40, the outside linebacker for Madison Southern. But that was 4 yards from Preston Stacy. If Williams doesn't grab hold of the ankle, though, he had a little bit of a crease there on the counter. 2nd down and 6 from their own 5. They give it off to Stacy.
There he
He
goes
breaks
through
a
again.
tackle, breaks
Wow.
another tackle, has the first down out to, I will
Wow.
say, the 40-yard line, but I'm going to wait to the
Preston
14-yard
Stacy
line.
might be a little fired up.
Yeah, I think he got a little angry.
My goodness. That's one man you do not want.
Angry and running angry.
Yeah.
And we finally are going now to start running the football.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. That was a heck of a run to see from Preston Stacy. He did an excellent job, and he's he's running downhill right now. You might as well just give him a steady dose of
Feed
3-6.
You feed the big man.
And they're going to see him again.
You give it to him again. It's up over the 15 to about the 17, maybe the 18-yard line.
I give him 2.5, 3 yards on that one, and again, we'll see what the spot is.
Under 6 minutes to play. Woodford County's defense has been absolutely
Looks like Preston's going to get
outstanding.
a break.
Yeah, going to give Ram Hodge a little
And look for the
look.
straight up option, and watch for Nason to keep it around the end because he has not kept it all night.
He kept it once in the first half.
Did
He
he?
made that little
Right.
left-hand pitch.
Yeah, but he does such a good job of keeping the fake going.
They fake it. Nason will pitch it on the
Pitch it on the
reverse
reverse.
to Nelson. See you later.
Yep, we saw
Nobody's
that.
going to catch him unless Woods can chase him down, or Etheridge can, but
Etheridge is trying.
he's not going to get there.
Touchdown. Wow, you called the reverse a little while ago.
Yep.
And that's what we saw.
83 yards, and Aiden Nelson with his second rushing touchdown of the night, and it's 27-0 with 5:10 to play in the ball game.
Wow.
And I tell you what, I thought Nason had kept it on the dive fake to Hodge and was going to be swallowed up, but somehow he did that little sleight of hand pitch back coming to
On
Nelson the
reverse.
other direction, and see you later.
Aiden Nelson just turned it on.
And a great block on the
And
other side
I'll go
over
ahead.
there.
You got to give Etheridge some credit there because he did stay with the play.
He
all
almost
the way
chased him down at the
downfield.
2-yard line, but
It's just the effort. You
Yeah.
have to praise the effort.
and Ford will be on for the extra point. Out of the hold of Nason. Snaps a little low. The kick is up, and the kick is good.
Oh, wow. Ford getting his kick up off the ground there. He did
Yeah.
a great job.
Nice job by
Hold it.
Nason getting it off the turf. And
Absolutely.
it's 28-0 Woodford County here with 5:10 to play in the ball game. The Jackets have used a big play a couple of times with Aiden Nelson now on the ground. He has 5 receiving touchdowns, now 3 rushing on the season. And the Jackets tonight, though, to be honest with you, Andy, have decided to throw the ball a little bit more than they have pretty much all year long
Yeah,
tonight.
they really have, Darren. But honestly, when you're given a steady diet of just run and rumble, you want to move the ball fast, and that's what they've done. They've shown that they can score when they have the football. Period. And you have said before that this offense, when it's clicking, is pretty difficult to stop.
Giving away a project graduation package tonight.
Oh, there you go.
2 tickets to the UK Mississippi State football game in a couple of weeks. So Woodford County leads 28-0. The defense has been outstanding of keeping Southern out of the end zone. They had a 1st and goal at the Woodford County 6 and could not come up with it. And the Jackets go 99 yards.
Wow.
In about 5 plays. Ford booms this one, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. And I want to ask you this, Andy. When did it start at the college and high school level that a kick returner on the kickoff does not have to catch the ball to at least down it into the end zone? When did it start?
It's the same. I don't know when it started. It's been recent, but it's in the last 10 years, and it was really just a safety issue because you had too many people getting lit up on the 1-yard line, defenseless, and it gives the opportunity not only for them to get out of the way, but the ball's going to be downed anyway.
Right.
You take the opportunity for someone to get injured from a misseen fair catch or whatever out of it. So that's why it's there. It's a safety issue.
First and 10 from their own 20 for Southern. They go two receivers to either side. They're in the pistol formation. Jackson Chambers has been the quarterback for most of the night, except for a couple of about 7 or 8 plays of Jayshon Etheridge. They throw out into the flat, and then another missed tackle. And up over the 30-yard line, about the 32-yard line, that is Ian Woods.
Davion Sturgis did a good job making that tackle, but you saw 2 missed tackles out there on the end, which is not something we normally see from Woodford County's cornerbacks.
No, usually the corners are pretty solid tackling, but you got to come up and wrap. You just can't come up and hit. You got to put those arms around them and drive them to the ground. First and 10 after a gain of 12 for Southern from their own 32, 4.5 to play. Woodford County 28-0. They go on the wide receiver screen to Etheridge, and that is what we're used to seeing. DeBrence Johnson for cornerback comes up, makes a nice open field tackle.
DeBrence Johnson did a great job on that tackle. I mean, he read the play. He's got up underneath the block and made just a fantastic tackle at the line of scrimmage. That ball was – and the thing about that tackle is that was a must-make tackle because everybody was accounted for defensively there.
He avoided the block of Woods, the wide receiver out there trying to block for Etheridge. Chambers will throw out here into the flat or in short to Sullivan. Is that a catch? I thought that ball bounced.
Looks like they're going to give him the catch.
They're going to give him the catch of 3 yards out to the 35. No official made a signal that was a catch. They just kind of blew the whistle and then came running in. So a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and 7 for Southern from their own 35-yard line. Woodford County 28-0 over the Eagles here at Community Stadium tonight. Well, Woodford's defensive line way back off the ball. Chambers steps up in the pocket, throws, and Etheridge, he threw behind Etheridge.
No, he had him wide open.
Yeah.
But he was too late. He was feeling the pressure there from Woodford County's defensive line. And
Christian Ponce
whipped one behind him.
And they're going to punt. Is Southern.
Yeah. Well, that pressure right there from Woodford County really made that throw errant. I mean, he had a shot at it and dropped it. And that's the second time Etheridge just dropped one in the open field. But
that was behind him, though. He had to really reach back and try to grab it.
And that pressure just wasn't going to let that happen. If he had taken even a split second more, he would have been sacked.
Look how deep Woodford's defensive line is. They're about 3 to 4 yards off the ball. Here's a high snap over the punter's head, and Woodford, they'll go back and fall on it at the 8-yard line. First and goal for Woodford County from the Southern 10-yard line. The Jackets leading 28-0 here with 3:14 to play. Jackets will be 7-0. Heading into Shelbyville next Friday night from Titan Stadium on the campus of Martha Lane Collins High School. Oh, my goodness. He snuck up here on me. Woodford County Judge Executive James Kay with us here in the press box as we get set. I thought it'd be past your bedtime, isn't it?
It should be, Darren.
Should be? Okay.
But the defense is
He's a lot younger than me, folks.
The defense is keeping me up tonight.
Well, Woodford's been here. They give it off to Stacy. He'll run left. He's reaching for the end zone. He's going to be shy by about a yard. Give him 9 to the 1-yard line. We haven't seen a whole lot of Preston Stacy run the football tonight, James. It's been the aerial game for Woodford County for the most part.
They've been focusing on Stacy.
Yeah. But he, after that little goal line stand for Woodford County, he looked like he was running a little ticked off.
Yeah, he was running
a little mad. They give it to Stacy, and he'll go over the left side for the touchdown for Woodford County. 34-0 now, Woodford County. This game's going to look lopsided to a lot of folks when the scores come out, but this game has been an absolute dogfight.
And that 0 for
we'll take that.
Madison Southern, that is a testament to the Jackets. That's good defense.
That defense has been great tonight. They have given up some yardage, but, boy, when they've gotten challenged inside their own 25-yard line or whatever, and I think Woodford's going to get a timeout. I think they're going to go for 2 to get that running clock here for the last 3:06. James, a lot of great things going on here in Woodford County. We had the 2 middle school teams in action last night in Frankfort. The 7th grade wins the conference title. The 8th grade loses, but they both move on to the state playoffs now. They both will play a home game Thursday night. The boys soccer team loses the district championship to Collins here 2-1 last night. The girls soccer team wins 2-1 over Anderson County. Then we got 3 young people in the golf state tournament that are all going to be back for several years to come. And then we got the volleyball, I think, is 21-9 heading into the postseason. So pretty good athletic season again this year for Woodford County so far.
And you got to give credit to Dennis Johnson, the AD, for
Got some-
giving all the programs love and support.
Yep. And, we can't do it without the community of Versailles and Woodford County and Millville and Nonsuch and McAfee and Mortonsville and Midway.
Faywood.
Little
Germany.
Milner. And the 2-point conversion by Stacy over the right side. He gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And Woodford County leads 36-0, and that clock will run. And this last 3:06 will go by pretty fast. But, what's it like for you as a public elected official and a graduate and lifetime resident of Woodford County? What's it like for you to go to these other counties when you meet with other judge execs and the like? What do they want to talk about besides the problems that everybody's incurring?
So a lot of folks are looking at what we're doing in Woodford County, and they're saying, how do we get what you all have? Because we've got a lot of good things going on. As judge executive, I've broken ground on so many new projects. Fire stations, schools, the new high school. We've got a lot of good
EMT service.
We got a brand new Station 1 over there. So, we're just trying to lead Kentucky. And it starts with having a great educational background and great school system. That's where it all starts.
Want to thank, matter of fact, he's listening tonight. Want to also thank the Woodford County Public Schools as one of our fine sponsors. Superintendent Danny Atkins, he texted me a moment ago and said, sounding good. We had video for the first 20 minutes, but it decided it wanted to act goofy on us. And it's not Halloween, but it was acting like something strange is happening tonight. But we have had audio. We appreciate everybody sticking with us and staying with us through this. And Woodford County leads 36-0 as the clock is moving, and we're under 3 minutes to play. The Jackets have used big play after big play after big play. This is Sullivan. He gets back in the end zone, and he's not happy because he couldn't return it out, but that's the high school rule. So Woodford County's got a couple of rushing touchdowns from Aiden Nelson, a couple of rushing touchdowns from Preston Stacy, and then you have a defensive touchdown from Davion Sturgis. And
way to go, Davion.
You look at this, they've got 3 takeaways tonight and 4 stops on 4th down to turn the ball over and downs.
It's a great defensive performance, and the community, the stadium's packed tonight.
Yeah, nice crowd. They've been here. This is Lucas Mullins on the carry for Southern. He gets a first down up over the 20 or over the 30-yard line to the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. We have Jackson Cobble in there right now. Woodford County still pretty much with a lot of their frontline players in there. Abdul Belisle now in at quarterback as they move Aiden Nelson back to safety position. They give it off to Mullins again, running left. And that had to be Christian Ponce that straightened him up, and it was. Tell you what, when Ponce decides to set his feet, he's not going anywhere. 5'10", 285-pound nose guard. That, from what I can hear, runs like a 5.140. That's moving.
Wow.
That's moving.
He does know what he's doing. It's obvious.
Mm-hmm. He had an 80-yard touchdown return last year in the opener against Glasgow on a fumble recovery. 2nd down and 8. They give it off to Mullins for the 3rd straight time, and that is Jabari Alexander on the stop from his joker position. or outside linebacker. James, we've had a lot of great things coming up as far as what the community was doing. We had a John Conley charity concert here for Habitat for Humanity. Am I correct on that?
It was the Historical Society.
Historical Society.
Yes, sir.
I knew it was one of those two. But he had did a charity concert. Of course, John is a lifelong Woodford Countyan.
Still owns a farm.
Still owns his farm. I didn't know this. He was a member of Versailles Baptist Church, which I was a part of.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And that's where I go to church, as you know. And
Yeah.
he said at the concert that that's where he started to learn how to sing and play instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Martha Dempsey used to be his music teacher and stuff. And the ball game is over. Well, James, appreciate you joining me tonight up here for the last 3 or 4 minutes of this ball game. But the Jackets win 36-0 to move to 7-0 on the season here after the victory over Madison Southern, which was a well-earned, hard-fought ball game over the Eagles of Madison Southern. Tell you what, we've had so much going on tonight that we're not going to – I'm going to give Andy a quick comment, let him comment here towards the end of this one tonight. Andy, we've had all kinds of weird stuff happening tonight with our video stream.
We tried to
Woodford
fix
County
it.
heavily penalized tonight on several occasions of illegal shifts, which means 2 players in motion at the same time, which we haven't, neither one of us were able to see or view. So a lot of weird things happening, but the Jackets did not play their best game tonight. But if you're Coach Dennis Johnson, you're going to say, okay, we didn't play well tonight.
Right.
We won 36-0.
Right.
So guess what?
Well, here's the thing, Darren. Penalties are probably the story of the game. That's going to be the story of the game that people talk about. They're going to talk about the refs, whatever. But the fact is that Woodford County showed some real character tonight. And if you want to know the heart of this team, you go down, and a lot of that heart was right there from the 2-yard line to the goal line on a goal line stand where penalties continued to favor Madison Southern and continued to stack up against Woodford County, and they held anyway, got the ball back, and then took the ball down and scored on that possession. Got out of the hole. They showed a lot of who they are tonight in that little probably 4-minute period between the 2 and the goal line with their backs against the wall. And if that kind of heart comes out of Woodford County for the rest of the season, look out, because that's tough to beat. You can say what you want about players. You can say what you want about coaching and refs and all of that stuff. But right there, the heart of those players showed for 6 feet tonight in that one moment, and that was one heck of a stand and one heck of a come out and score anyway.
That drive that Andy's referring to was a 99-yard touchdown drive. It took 5 plays.
Yeah.
83 of it, though, covered on the touchdown run by Aiden Nelson. And again, downfield blocking got him an absolute huge hole to run
You
through.
can't run a reverse like that without space. And you can't run, you've seen that play that was there all night. And that space was given by just coming out and just saying, you're not going to beat us. You can't break our hearts with whatever you think you're going to do to us with penalties or anything else, because we're just not going to let you break us. And that's tough to do, man. High school kids that can reach down and grab that heart down in there and say, this is where it's at, because football is all about your heart, and that's what he's got. That's what this team has.
Well, Woodford County victorious tonight over Madison Southern by a final score of 36-0. Again, folks, we appreciate you sticking with us through all the issues having tonight with the video and sticking with us through the audio version of this ball game tonight. We'll be on the air next Friday night. Now, whether it be audio only or video, we don't know yet. I have to talk to the AD at Martha Lane Collins High School, but we will be in Shelbyville next Friday night for Woodford County and Collins for the first time in history.
All right.
In Shelbyville. And the Jackets look to go to 8-0 with a win next week over Collins and go to 3-0 in district play and pretty much seal up the number 1 seed and home field advantage in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs if they can pull that off over the next 2 games. But it's Woodford County 36 and Madison Southern nothing here from Community Stadium until next Thursday night when we'll be at Versailles Brewing Company with Coach Dennis Johnson to talk about tonight's game and get ready for Collins next Friday night. And we want to remind you, 7 o'clock coming up next Thursday night here at Community Stadium, the 7th grade Woodford County Middle School football team will take on an opponent from Berea, and I can't remember, it's Farrington is who it is. They will take on them here next Thursday night at 7 o'clock for the first round of the state playoffs for the middle school. Again, from Community Stadium, it was Woodford County 36, Madison Southern nothing. Till next week, so long from Versailles.